Hi, I'm Hayden. Welcome back to our weekly budget builds. As you can see, we're on a new channel this week. I've recently switched all my editing rights over to Jackson's channel. All of our episodes will furthermore be on here, and we're going to continue where we left off last week. Alrighty, so before we take this carburetor off, we're going to start her up for us, and we're going to see what she's doing. I'm really not too happy with it, and we'll be moving on from there. So here we go. Alright guys, so this week on our budget build, we're going to be taking off this carburetor. It's been rebuilt 3 times, and I'm not a fan of it. It's not really my generation to be messing with. It's a quadrijet. A lot of people have their opinions about that. I'd like to be switching it to a EFI system. I'm looking at the Hollies, I'm looking at the Phytex. But right now we're just trying to get the carburetor off this week and go from there. And here we go. So right here's the Rochester quadrijet. Had a mechanical fuel pump on it at one point, and it's all right. So we switched it to a electric fuel pump here, and now I have to have a regulator system on here with a gauge running all the way up to here. All this was a huge mess. And as you guys know from the previous episodes when we were setting all this up, but right now we're just going to take the carburetor off and dismantle all this linkage, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Slowly, yeah. Alright, so we're taking off this carburetor here. It's a Rochester quadrijet. Just had too many problems with it. Heard they're simple carburetors, but also real tricky. Once we switch over to this self-learning EFI, we should be able to start it and take off right away and not have any problems. We've had a lot of carburetors like on our last truck, and I'd like to start messing with this EFI. So we're working on getting this throttle linkage off. Got the kick down cable right here. There goes that. Take off a few vacuum lines, and there we go. I got this gasket at Speedway Auto Parts. It's pretty good and everything. Haven't had any problems with it. I can reuse it. And yeah, I like it. So this week we're gonna be done with this. I'm gonna have to do some research on what kind of EFI I want. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on all the systems. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. So I'm gonna do some more research on that. But we'll actually go to the last truck we were building. We finally got that new engine in. We started up for a little bit just to time it and set the carburetor, and I think we'll be good. Hasn't been on the road yet, and we're gonna fire it up right now for you. Alright, so we're going to start the 55 right now. This is a 55 Ford on an S10 chassis, 350 in it. Just recently rebuilt this motor. Haven't put any miles on it. We started it a little bit ago, set the timing and everything, and we'll give her a shot right here. that concludes this week's episode of our budget builds. Next week we'll be working on the '89 C1500 Sierra. We have to do a custom transmission bracket for it. It didn't come with one. We're gonna weld one up for that. Hopefully here in the next few weeks we'll be making a decision on our EFI live kits. We're just looking at the reviews and doing some research on the Holley snipers and the Phytex. We're definitely going to need at least a 400 system, and we'll probably go through with the fuel system on that. But that concludes this weekend.